you have a new smart speaker or a connected device.
No matter what device you have, Odyssey has something you'll love.
Blast your favorite music on home entertainment devices like Roku, Chromecast, Sonos, and more.
Just look for the Odyssey app.
Want to access more stations through your car?
Try out Odyssey with Waze or Apple CarPlay. Plus, listen to your favorite stations on your phone with the Odyssey app.
Listen to Odyssey anytime on all your smart speakers and connected devices.
Odyssey.
Odyssey.
You want to know what wagertainment is? It's the picks, the analysis, the information, mixed with the laughter and the entertainment. Smart sports betting content that'll put a smile on your face.
The BetQL Network, streaming live each day and helping you bet smarter.
If you're a sports fan, you know why you should listen. It's sports betting content without the BS. No hot takes, no nonsense.
All the insight you need to bet smarter is at BetQL.com. And listen to the BetQL Network, streaming live right now on Odyssey.
Live Sunday nights, this is the John Whitmer Show on 98.7 and 1330 KNSS.
Welcome back to the John Whitmer Show on 98.7 and 1330 KNSS. Little Laura Kelly theme song. Very appropriate for our next guest. Want to remind you, you can always listen to us by downloading the Odyssey app or telling your smart speaker to play KNSS Radio, where you'll find podcast links to all of our previous episodes there. And make sure you like and follow the John Whitmer Show Facebook page. And follow me on Twitter at John R. Whitmer to get all the latest updates on the show. We're not going to take it. You got to love this. You really do. The 2022 legislative session begins a week from Monday. Our elected leaders will likely have a number of issues to take up, including the budget, taxes, and redistricting. Joining us now to preview the 2022 session is House Majority Leader Dan Hawkins. Dan, Happy New Year. It's nice to have you on the show again, brother.
Happy New Year, John. It's good to be here.
So let's see. Let's start with the biggie. You've got a $2 billion surplus. Let's talk tax reductions. Like I said, the state's sitting on roughly $2 billion. I'm sure the big government folks would just love to spend that money. Any chance we can ensure that it comes back to the people? I mean, it ain't Laura Kelly's money. So any chance that comes back?
Well, I would tell you it probably won't be a $250
kickback.
Rebate for every person that files a tax return. That's probably not going to happen.
It's not going to be universal basic income.
No, I can't see that working out at all, John. I do think that there will be some things done. There'll probably, there's been a lot of talk about sales tax on food. I could see some relief there, maybe not totally eliminating it. That's a pretty big chunk. There's probably some other things that we can do that may actually do a better job for our people. When it comes to some of the tax cuts, I think really one of our biggest challenges this year is going to be making sure, because there's a $2 billion ending balance, making sure that our appropriators do not say yes to all of the things that people are going to come in. Because you know how it goes. Whenever they see money, it's kind of like blood in the water for sharks, and they're circling and waiting to get their chance at whatever they can get. And so they're going to come in and ask for everything.
Wichita Eagle ran a story just, a week or two ago where the universities are wanting a couple $100 million for construction. And you're going to have every Tom, Dick, and Harry lobbyist up there who's going to have a proposal to how to spend that money. And again, it's just because you have it doesn't mean you need to spend it. You could put that in the rainy day fund. You could pay down capers. There's a whole lot of things.
And actually, I would say those two things and some tax cuts are what's going to happen. It's going to be kind of a mixture of all three of those. You and I, and especially I actually spent my first 4 years on the capers committee, pensions and benefits committee, and back when I started, capers was in trouble. Capers was probably about 52% funded, which is horrible. And over the last 9 years, we're almost we're in the mid-70s now. So I can't remember the exact figure, but it's really come a long ways. And the one thing we're thinking about is, what if we took the governor's $455 million that she wants to put to a $250 rebate.
Yeah, that's her. I want to get reelected.
Yeah,
idea.
you put that into Capers. That is a huge savings. Matter of fact, we went and did some numbers, and the numbers are 180 million savings over 5 years just by doing that. In the Caper system, that's huge. That actually would put us almost to an 80% funded rate. And you remember. 80% is the figure where you're actually in better shape.
You're solvent at that point.
You're solvent.
Right, yeah.
Right now, we're still below that 80%. So by doing that, so she's not talking about doing that. She's talking about giving money away, kind of like Mrs. Santa Claus.
Right. Well, that doesn't buy her votes doing that.
No, it doesn't. But it's very prudent for our state and for our taxpayers.
Yeah, she's not doing Biden bucks, which is really what this looks like. It's
so we also have of course, we have a rainy day fund that's never been funded since when it was voted in. We were there when it was voted in.
Yep.
And it's never been funded. This is our opportunity to fund that, and then give some tax relief, and then let's see how things work out.
I know there's a number of other things. I've seen some legislative proposals to ban the teaching of critical race theory and develop some sort of a Bill of Rights for parents and students. I think that's become an issue, a hot-button issue, certainly for conservatives. You think something like that might be considered?
I think we'll probably see something. I think there's probably 3 different members who are working on some form of that. I know Christy Williams on the K-12 Budget Committee is working on it. Hers is more consistent with just critical race theory in school, whereas there's a couple others that are more global in nature and not just school related. So there's several different options out there. I think that there'll be some pretty good debates. Will it go anywhere? Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Well, the governor thinks that parents don't have a right to have an opinion on curriculum. So how about redistricting? I know that's going to be a huge issue.
Redistricting, every 10 years we have to have redistricting. I came in 10 years ago after redistricting happened, so I came in the 2013 session. So now I get to come back and actually see how that all works. Probably the biggest thing that we're going to do this year is redistrict, because that sets the districts for the Senate, the House, the state school board, and the congressional districts for the next 10 years. I actually think that our House maps are not going to be that difficult to draw. There's some areas we're going to have to expand. Western Kansas is going to have to expand. They've lost so much population out there. Southeast Kansas has lost some. Wichita should gain, Sedgwick County, I should say, should gain a seat. Most likely, I would say, reading all the reports, Johnson County is going to receive a couple of seats out of that. So I don't think ours is going to be all that tough. I think the congressional district is the tough one.
Yeah.
And I was actually met with our 4th district congressman this last week, and talked to him a little bit about how they were coming along with what they're doing, and I believe that we'll probably early on in this session be able to get their wishes from them, so we can put those into a plan. It's still kind of up in the air how it's going to be done. Are we going to have 3 bills? Or are we going to have 1 bill? Or are we going to have 2 bills? Not sure how that's going to work yet. But certainly,
the fact that you're this far along is an improvement. I mean, I remember what happened. You remember what happened 10 years ago when the legislature couldn't come to
and I think
consensus.
That, actually, I think
had to go to the courts.
Yeah, I think the difference is this time, when you look at the House and the Senate, there's our numbers are increasing from, I think we were at 22,700. We're going to be at 23,500 per district in the House. There's going to be a little bit of movement, but not much. I just don't think it's going to be as big a deal as what some people say it's going to be. And quite frankly, talking to our compadres across the aisle, they want it done, and they want it done quickly too, and they certainly don't want to go to the courts. When the court does things, they don't necessarily do things good for either side.
Right. Yeah.
So I think that you're going to see the House and specifically, I can talk about the House. So I think you're going to see both sides of the aisle working together to produce a map that everybody can agree on, and let's just move on.
If you had to guess, I know, the elected officials would prefer a shorter session just because you can't fundraise.
Yeah.
And you've got, an election coming up, so I imagine you're going to want to have a short session, get in and out. Do you anticipate a short or a regular or long session?
Yeah, I would say, John, a short session is in order. Of course, it's an election year, and so naturally it benefits us to have a shorter session. I have talked to the Senate President in the last couple of weeks, and we were producing him and the Speaker were producing the calendar for our legislative session, and I think they set it up to where we can get things done pretty quick and get out of there. Maybe have a very short veto session, but we will have a veto session. But we could be out of there by really early May, which would be good for us. You
got a few new faces this session. I know one in particular. You guys are going to be missing your House Majority Whip because Blake Carpenter he's deployed. The military's got him off on deployment, so you're going to have that. It's a couple new chairs, so some new faces, some a little bit of shifting, but more or less it's the same folks that you're dealing with.
So you always have that midterm small shuffle. Usually it's not a very big shuffle. In this case, we do have a few chairs that'll be new, and it'll work out just fine. We're going to miss Blake certainly because he's really a great whip. So that'll be one of the first things we'll do the first week is we'll elect a new whip for this session. Be interesting to see who that is. Whoever it is, they better get ready to work because they're going to be busy.
They got to do some whipping.
Yeah, they got to do some whipping.
Dan, we've got to take a break. You want to stick around, maybe take a few calls?
Sure, love to.
All right, we'll take a quick break, and then I want to hear from you. Our phone lines are open, 316-869-1330. Give us a call. You're listening to the John Whitmer Show on 98.7 and 1330 KNSS, Wichita's #1 talk.
Your phone call is welcome at 869-1330. This is the John Whitmer Show on 98.7 and 1330 KNSS.
Welcome back to the John Whitmer Show on 98.7 and 1330 KNSS. Of course, you can always listen to us by downloading the Odyssey app or telling your smart speaker to play KNSS Radio. And make sure you like and follow the John Whitmer Show Facebook page and follow me on Twitter at John R. Whitmer to get all the latest updates on the show. With us still is the House Majority Leader Dan Hawkins. The legislative session begins, by statute, it's the second Monday of the year. So you guys, it's literally basically a week from now.
A week from tomorrow. Absolutely. 2 p.m. On the second Monday of January of every year.
Well, it'll be, it should be fun. I don't know, man. Going back up to the Ramada and staying in the cinder block rooms at the Ramada may not be. I don't know. That's the one part I guess I don't miss that much.
Yeah, there you go. It's the same. You know what you got.
Hey, John,
yes.
I know we're taking calls right now.
Yeah, I'm sorry, yes.
We have a call.
Oh, we do? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I saw the light.
Yeah, that would be me.
Okay. So, Dave, you're on the John. I saw
Thank
the
you
light.
very much. Long-time listener, first-time caller, guys. Love this show. Keep up the great work.
Okay.
No, so I saw you posting on social media about a trip to Vegas that you had recently.
Dan and I, back in November.
You and Dan both went, and I believe you're on Pawn Stars. Is that right?
Well, it's not related to the legislature. Yeah. So Dan and I had the opportunity, my wife and I own eDrop.
Right.
And the folks at Pawn Stars had seen a couple of items that we had listed for sale on one of the sites that we sell. You know what we do? We take items from folks and we sell them online.
Right.
And so we were asked if we would want to try and sell a couple of these items on the show. I'm trying to remember because we both have signed non-disclosure agreements. So there's certain things we can say and can't say.
Yeah, we just can't tell them what we sold.
Right. Or if it's sold.
Or if it's sold.
Right.
Okay.
So I had an item and Dan had an item.
Oh, so you both had one.
So we that's how we decided because, well, Dan's a huge fan of the show.
Okay.
And he has a truck, most importantly. And so I called him and I said, Dan, I got this opportunity to go on Pawn Stars and try and sell. Would you be interested? I need a driver. Would you? Because I don't want to fly out there and try and ship these things out there. Would you be willing to drive me out to Vegas? And he loved the idea. So we took a road trip to Vegas.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised you didn't bring along some type of equipment so you could record several sessions while we were driving out to Vegas. Because that's an 18-and-a-half-hour drive, by the way.
Both ways, yeah. Each way, yeah. 36 hours in the car with Dan was very enlightening. I learned a lot about Dan.
You know, we talked a lot. You know, we left Wichita about 8 o'clock in the morning, and by the time we hit Tucumcari, New Mexico, there wasn't a lot left to say.
I can imagine. That's a long time in the car.
Yeah, after that point, we were done talking politics, and we started talking everything else at that point.
Well, are you guys allowed to talk about the process?
Sure.
What it was like?
Yeah, I mean, Dan, tell them about your, because we had different sessions. So
Yeah,
we were there all day.
You did, okay.
Yeah, so we got there about 8:30 that morning, and we actually were put in this room, and we sat there for, it seemed like an hour and a half or so.
It's the boardroom. That you've seen it on the show.
Yeah. And during that time, what they're doing is they're studying. They're preparing for the show.
Okay.
Because at that point they know what they're going to get at that point.
Right.
They've seen it, but so we're letting them do their thing. Finally, they call us in, and I had Rick and I had Chumley.
Okay.
And I have to tell you, between the two, I would far prefer Chumley.
Is that right?
Chumley is a chatty guy. He really loves to talk. He's a fun-loving guy. What I really came to find out, and I think John will agree with me, he makes the show. Rick is kind of dry, not all that really personable.
Okay.
And it's like Chumley's there to poke him. He's there to say things that makes Rick react.
Gotcha.
And so Chumley really does make that show. I didn't know that because I've watched that show ever since it's been on.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize what his role was until you're actually there and seeing it happen. So he's literally saying things just to make Rick react. The negotiation is actually the fun part. You're at that point either they're really interested or they're not, and of course John can tell you a little bit about that. But with Chumley, but with Rick, it went fairly quick.
Okay. He's all business, huh?
He is. He's just not. And afterwards, I tried to talk to him, and he really didn't want to talk. He's just he moved on. Yeah.
John, what about your segment?
And I had just Chumley. And I had the same experience with him. We got to meet them both.
Right.
But I dealt with Chumley exclusively on my potential sale. And he very friendly, very cordial. We were cracking up jokes and laughing, and he was very chatty. And even in the segment, we joked a lot. But there were just elements that I could tell that he was prepared. He knew his stuff. The producers prompt him a little bit,
right?
But the filming process is also because you have to you do the pre-filming where they tell you, okay, we want you to tell us what you're here to sell.
Okay,
tell us how much you want. Tell us how much you're hoping to get. Tell us about the items, and then you film the segment where you talk, and then they bring in the expert, and then but the negotiating itself is live.
Oh.
So, well, it's not live. It's recorded, obviously. But that's real. They don't, you don't know what you're going to do, whether or not you're going to get a sale, and so it's all real. If I can't tell you if we had success.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I can't. We're not allowed to tell you.
Right.
What I can tell you, The episodes are in next season, which is the 20th season, and it should air at some point in May, March, April, May, something like that. And I'm sure I'll put it on the Facebook page.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
It's eDrop Wichita, and I'll share it on my personal page. But
sounds like a fun experience.
It was really a kind of once in a lifetime thing. It really was kind of a bucket list for me.
Yeah, sounds great.
Well, Dan, I appreciate you coming in. Good luck with the session. Have a good session. And I'm sure we'll have you on again during session to kind of keep us updated on the things that are going on. We're going to take a quick break. After the top of the hour break, we're going to talk with Dave Traubert about why Governor Kelly thinks parents don't have a right to a say in their children's curriculum. You're listening to the John Whitmer Show. We'll be back right after this.
How's your mental health? I'm listening with Billie Eilish.
I feel like I spent a lot of time thinking about happiness and how it's just like it fluctuates, and everyone thinks if you're one thing, you're going to be that forever and you're never going to be anything else. And it's really not true. Like, happiness is temporary, but also so is like misery, and things just like morph and change. It just doesn't stay. It goes up and goes down and things change. And like, that's how life works.
Explore more at imlistening.org.
Based on the best-selling novel by Francine Rivers.
You have to stop thinking that I'm going to be something that I'm not. I've got too many demons. I don't know how to love.
On January 21st, there is no brokenness that love can't heal.
You did not choose the life you had, but you can choose the life you want.
Redeeming Love. In theaters January 21st. May be inappropriate for children under 13.